Hello, dear students. I hope that all of you are safe and sound. We've already talked about Renaissance and its historical background. Today, we'll be talking about the three periods of Renaissance, right? Um, the first period covers the end of 15th century and the first half of 16th century, right? During this period in England, the first scholars, the humanists, they appeared. They studied and investigated the antique philosophy in Oxford University and in Cambridge University. The first generations of the English humanists were trained. The development of book printing was of pretty much importance for humanist culture, right? Humanism was an intellectual movement, right, by scholars, by writers, by civic leaders in 14th century in Italy, right? And it introduced a program to revive the cultural and particularly the literary legacy and moral philosophy of classical antiquity, right? We had William Caxton. William Caxton was the first English printer, and he learned the art of printing, and he published many books, including Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, right? Um, Humanistic literature of the then time was mainly of theoretical character. Um, Thomas More. Thomas More. He was a scholar, a saint, Lord Chancellor of England, and he was a friend of Erasmus, right? He wrote many good works. He produced many good works. One of which was Utopia, and it was a description of an ideal society. He wrote it in 1516, and it was written in Latin because Latin was international language at that time, and this was actually a very sharp criticism on the political system of Europe, or the cruel legislative power against poor, and it discussed it in form of dialogues, right? Dialogue between Thomas More and this gentleman Raphael Hitler, right? Okay. Then we move to the second period. The second period of English Renaissance was the so-called Elizabethan, and it covers the second half of 16th century and the beginning of 17th century, right? This was the period of flourishing the literature, the time of creating the new literary forms, right? Shakespeare's masterpieces are created in this period, right? We'll be discussing the second period in detail in our next lectures, right? And then we move to the third period. It was the time after William Shakespeare's death, and this was the time of the decline of English Renaissance literature, right? Thank you very much. See you.